Welcome back to Cameroon. Um, it's been a while since we played a game. It's going to be a while since we play another one. And we've got a lot of friendlies hanging about, but a competitive game some way off in the distance. As a result, I thought today's episode will just be transfer special. So we'll run you through who's come in, who's gone out, and the general state of the squad. And so let's go and see what's changed in Bamboo Toss. Okay, well the first thing to update you on is we made a signing in the previous transfer window, which is a weird one that runs from like sort of towards the end of the season to apparently October, because I think we did this deal on the last day of the season, and we splashed out 130,000 on Abdullahi Babatunde, who is a goalkeeper, and he's got one or two weaknesses. I'm not too bothered by things like one-on-ones and throwing so much. His anticipation could do with being a bit better, but he's agile, he's got good handling, good reflexes, good aerial reach. So, and he's a backup, and he's 20 with bags of potential. So Kibian is still our number one. Babatunde, solid backup. And we sent him out on loan. I'm not even going to attempt that name. I am actually looking at trying to get rid, because he's just not good enough. Now, what we've got here is a selection of people, most of the outs. Eric Noah, young player. Ivan Edoa, young player. Patrick Rostand, you probably remember from some of our games, used to fill in at left midfield. We don't play left midfielders anymore. We've got left wing backs, and he's just not really one of those. He has played there in the pre-season games I've played so far, but that's because our players who were supposed to play there this season hadn't arrived yet. We'll come to them in a minute. So I've just basically let him go. Now, the next two who have left us, Jose Musima and Ulrich Lobe, leaving for remarkably similar reasons. Basically, Musima, he's a youngster. He's got possibly quite a lot of potential. I don't think he's going to make it. His determination is only 4, and this personality is what has got him out of this club. He's temperamental. He didn't train well. Every time I spoke to him about it, he got very arsey. And eventually I got fed up with being told that he didn't like the way he was being spoken to. So we sold him. Well, I don't know if he was sold so much as allowed to have his contract run out, and I didn't stop anyone signing him. But anyway, we got shot. And frankly, good riddance. Terrible individual to have around. Ulrich Lobe, who we've actually just had a testimonial for, because he has been here for 10 years, started moaning that he wanted a new contract. So he's 32, and because, again, wide player, he was our starting left-sided choice last season, but because I don't play people in left midfield or left wing anymore, the only possibility for him was up front. And he just is not good enough in the roles we play up there to really do the job. So he wasn't going to be a first choice. I mean, he's okay, but he was not going to be first choice. He demands I offer him a new contract. I start the negotiations immediately, straight in. I want to be an important player. And it's like, okay, well, I want you to be a squad player. And the recommendation was even lower than that. That was like fringe player or something. So I offer him squad player. No, important player. So we fall out over that. He then comes back moaning that I didn't offer him a new contract. And he's like, well, we started to talk. You were an idiot. Have another conversation. Say, yeah, okay, I'll try it again. Same thing. And so whilst talking to him, I left the room and I went and signed Esombe Onana, who, as you can see, pretty much looks quite a bit better than Ulrich Lobe. Let's do a comparison. Certainly better in the air, better mentally, better as an attacker. So, yeah, and 3 years younger. So, we went and signed him. And I never went back and spoke to Ulrich Lobe. I just immediately offered him out. And no one was after him when we attached a price. The moment I said he was free, PWD Bamenda came in. So, you know, he's so important that the only way I could get rid of him was on a freebie. So, again, another one to possibly check your ego. Anyway, so yeah, as you've seen, Esombe Onana, who we brought in from a Rwandan side, and he's actually our cheapest signing. Now, second cheapest, Rene Bitjik, who has got a bit of variety. He can play defensive midfield, but we're going to be playing him at right wing back. I mean, he can't dribble and he can't cross, but none of our right wing backs or left wing backs can dribble or cross. That's not so important for me. The fact is, he's going to be pretty solid out there on the right. So, he's a good signing. He is 31, so he's not a long-term solution by any means. Now, Emanuele Akono, decent-ish as a centre-back, but I think defensive midfield, where that heading doesn't really come into things. Good on both feet, excuse me. Decent physicals, 22, little bit of growth left in him. Good pickup for the defensive midfield slot. Now, Mohamed Iwolo, 13,500. He can play central midfield or attacking midfield. I'm not entirely sure which one he will be slotting into, but we do have the depth. That's the good thing now. We've got quite a few midfielders who can play a variety. They can either play sort of central midfield and attacking midfield, or central midfield and defensive midfield. We've got options if people go down hurt. Now, Maurice Musima will be an option at left wing back. He won't be my first choice, I don't think, at left wing back. But his marking and tackling are good, his physicals are decent, his mentals are okay. Again, as you can see, can't cross or dribble. But, you know, that just seems to be a thing in this country. Another Musima, Daniel Musima. Now, he is a centre-back, and he is solid. If we just highlight that one, a little down on composure and decisions, positioning, not quite so much, but again, 22, a little bit of room for growth. So, I'm not sure if he'll be a starter, but he should be there or thereabouts in the conversation. And again, we've got depth at the position now. Lionel Bissain, central midfield. Again, not sure whether he'll be deep line playmaker, although looking at his passing and vision decisions, might well be. All the more attacking option. But again, solid at everything that we want in there. So he is a good pickup. Yaya Esombe. Now, this is probably my starting left wing back. Again, with the crossing and dribbling. Ignore. Very good at marking and tackling. Not bags of pace, but decent enough. Generally good mentals. Lacks a little bit of off the ball. So, but I've set the wing backs to be on defence, so they're not really designed to push forward that much. I really do need someone to ask me about the width of our pitch, because no one has yet, and I really do want it changed before the start of the season. And then this is a familiar name, Francis Kinge, who was here on loan last season and who we have got back in on a permanent basis. And despite his poor positioning, I think we'll be playing him at deep line playmaker, because that passing vision and decisions for this level, pretty darn good. And he's still got a little bit of improvement. He's only 22. So that's who we've brought in. As you can see, I have spent quite a bit of money but they gave me quite a bit of money. They actually have upped our wage budget. I dragged that down a bit to give us a bit of transfer budget. They kept the transfer budget pretty much as I had it and bumped the wages back up to €1,000,000, which I'm not spending anywhere near. So I think we've done quite well. If we have a look at the squad, you can see the age of the squad. We've got a lot of potential young talent in there. Ignore some of these, some of the ones who are not so good on the stars. We are trying to get rid. They've been bumped up from the under-18s because they're too old. So they have to sit in the first team squad at the moment, taking up space. But yeah, I am happy that we have improved this squad to a decent level. I'm not entirely sure about re-signing Peleg. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how many slots we've got in the squad. But I think we have got the basis of a good squad, and we've got some good young players who hopefully will improve. And amongst them is beloved Boris here, who has been, as you can see, I mean, I've probably said this before, pre-season friendlies I play against very easy opposition, generally speaking, at home, because it's about getting them match sharp, it's about getting them aware of the tactics, and it's about boosting their morale by getting big wins. Boris here, as you can see, has scored 15 goals in 5 friendlies. And we didn't score that many goals in the first 2. As you can see, we have been thrashing people of late. But interesting that it calls it a 4-4-2 actually. Odd. Wouldn't have classified that tactic as 4-4-2. Okay. Well, that gives me hope that it might be sort of more defensively solid out wide than I thought it might be. But anyway, again, as you can see, we have still 2 months before we actually play a competitive game. So I've got more slog ahead of me, but I think I am basically done as far as transfers are concerned, and it's just going to be about getting through, playing these friendlies, getting people match sharp, ready for the start of the season, and hopefully we can hit the ground running. And we will be back for our home game against Avion FC and probably Edding Sport as well in the next episode. So, sorry there were no match highlights this time round, and it was just me waffling about the players I've signed. But the nature of life in Cameroon is we get a very long off season and not much season. So it is what it is, sadly. But if you have made it to the end, thank you very much for joining me. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.